If you're listening in the dark, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Midnight Tales.
They say that perfection has a price. Usually, that price is hard work or time.
But for Master Hanuš, the price of perfection was his eyes.
It was the year 1410. The city councillors stood in the shadows, watching. They didn't want to kill him. No, death would be too merciful. They needed him alive, but they needed to make sure he could never build anything like it again. And as the hot iron seared his vision into eternal darkness, Hanuš didn't scream for mercy. He screamed a curse that would stop the heart of the city itself. Let's go back. Before the blood, before the darkness, Prague was a city rising in power, but it lacked one thing, a monument, something that would make the rest of the world jealous. They hired Hanuš. He wasn't just a clockmaker. He was a sorcerer of mechanics, a man who saw the universe in gears and springs. He locked himself away for months. He barely ate. He barely slept. He was building the astronomical clock. When it was unveiled, the world froze. It wasn't just a machine. It was a living theater. Every hour, windows would open, and mechanical apostles would walk in a procession. A golden skeleton, representing death itself, would pull a cord, ringing a bell to remind the people that their time on earth was running out. It tracked the sun, the moon, and the movement of the stars. It was a mechanical miracle. Kings from other lands traveled thousands of miles just to see it.
And that was the problem. The city councillors were proud. But soon, pride turned to paranoia. They heard rumors, whispers in the taverns and the courts.
Other cities, richer cities, were approaching Hanuš. They offered him mountains of gold to build them a clock, a bigger one, a better one. The councillors realized something terrifying. If Hanuš built another clock, Prague would no longer be unique. Their glory would be stolen. They argued late into the night. They couldn't let him leave, but they couldn't just lock him up. He was too famous. The people loved him. So they devised a plan so cruel, it is whispered about 600 years later. They dragged him from his bed in the dead of night. They didn't take him to a palace to honor him. They took him to the dungeon. They blinded him. The logic was cold and simple. If he cannot see, he cannot build. Prague's clock would remain the only one of its kind forever. They left him in agony, throwing him out onto the street, a broken, blind beggar. They thought they had won. They thought the old man would simply wither away and die. But they forgot one thing. Hanuš didn't need his eyes to see his creation. He knew every gear, every spring, every tick, and every tock by heart. He could hear the machine singing to him from across the city, calling out to him like a child calling for its father. One night, nearing his death, he asked his apprentice to lead him up the tower one last time. The guards let the old blind man pass, thinking he just wanted to say goodbye to his life's work. They didn't notice the rage trembling in his hands. He stood before the massive iron heart of the clock. He listened to the rhythm. Tick, 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 tick. The sound of the city's heartbeat. And then he reached out. With one final surge of strength, he jammed his hand into the complex mechanism. Bones crunched. Metal shrieked. The gears ground against each other, screaming like a dying animal as the delicate balance was destroyed. Outside, the crowd gasped. The skeleton stopped ringing its bell. The apostles froze mid-step. The clock died. Inside the tower, Master Hanuš collapsed. He died right there, amidst the broken gears of his own masterpiece, taking the secret of its repair to the grave. For 100 years, no one could fix it. The genius of Hanuš was so complex that no other clockmaker could understand the damage he had done. The clock stood silent. But here lies the real lesson. The councillors thought they held the power because they had the money, the soldiers, and the titles. But they made one fatal mistake. They underestimated the value of the Creator. In your life, people may try to steal your credit. They may try to use your talents to build their empire and then toss you aside. They might even try to blind you with criticism, sabotage, or doubt. But remember this, they can steal the product, but they cannot steal the source. Your value isn't just in what you make, it is in you. Hanuš proved that even when broken, even in the dark, true mastery still holds the ultimate power. So, protect your vision. Build your masterpieces.
And if the world tries to shut you down, remind them that without you, the gears don't turn.
And if you wish to walk this path with us again, subscribe to the Midnight Tales. Sleep well.